Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Joyride podcast. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. I don't know what is flowing through me, but all that I've been wanting to do lately is record episode after episode. And I'm feeling like, is podcasting my thing? Like, what is happening here? I don't know what's happening, but a lot is channeling through me, a lot is flowing through me, and I'm just feeling really, really called to share like all of these incredible experiences that are happening for me lately. And I'm so happy that you are here listening. I can't believe that we are almost hitting the halfway point of December. Like, what the heck? Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's is going to be here before we know it, and then 2025 is going to be here. And in many of my recent podcast episodes, I have been preaching a lot about gaining clarity and slowing down and reflecting and all the things. And although I have been doing a lot of that, time has almost felt not frozen lately, but time has really, really, really slowed down and has forced me to face myself in new ways, not scary ways, but like really get even clearer and become even more honest with myself in regards to just where my life is heading, basically. And this is just the perfect platform for me to share what's been happening. So I hope that you are all having a great week so far and are looking forward to your holiday season. I truly hope that you are able to slow the F down and have some really beautiful quality time with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones. I know that I came into December with this energy of like, I have so much that I want to get done, almost feeling overwhelmed because there are so many things and so many ideas and creative projects that I want to be working on. And the energy has really taken a turn. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be a busy season for me, but at the same time, like, what's the rush? And why am I so impatient? And I know why I was feeling so impatient. Like, I gotta finish off the year, and now that I have all this newfound clarity and all these ideas, I gotta get it done, and I have to get the stuff ready, by the time that January approaches. And I had a conversation with myself. I've had many conversations with myself, but I realized that my focus has just not been where I really need it to be. And because of that, I was feeling all of this pressure that I'm putting on myself that no one's putting on me, but because I wasn't focused, I have been feeling so much pressure to now over deliver and almost like compensate for the lost time. Do you resonate with that? Because I feel like for a lot of us, we can get so sidetracked and distracted and caught up in doing a little too much. And this past weekend, I was watching a cute, cheesy Christmas movie, as I love to do. And I have just been feeling like super connected to the slowness of this holiday season, really leaning into my Cancerian, is that what it is? Cancerian? Yeah. Cancer energy, because I'm a Cancer rising. And I've been loving staying at home and making soups and watching cute holiday movies and all the stuff. And I watched this movie. Oh my gosh, I'm like literally tearing up right now. Am I okay? I watched this Christmas movie and I was just bawling by the end. First of all, let me interject here and say that I am a very big advocate of watching television, watching movies. I'm a big advocate of doing anything that you truly love to do. And I am disassociating from a lot of the lies that I've told myself over the past few years when it comes to being productive. Like, this month I'm not going to watch any TV. This month I'm not going to scroll at all. This month it's like, okay, we're not going to rot on the couch every single day and watch TV, but like, there's nothing better than taking a shower and having a cup of tea on a Saturday night and watching a movie for 2.5 hours or whatever and just like loving every single second of it. And I find gems and reflections and revelations in literally every single thing that I do. So I watched this movie. I was just like crying my eyes out at the end because it just touched me. And it truly helped me connect to what I have been yearning for in my life and who I've been connecting to and what I've been connecting to. And I feel like for the past few months, I have felt this energy, and I've shared a lot about this on the podcast, but I have been praying for this like newfound surge of energy. I've struggled a lot this year with my energy levels and feeling connected to my energy and just feeling so like lethargic in the morning and like, what else do I have to do in order to gain this energy back? And like, what am I missing? And all of these things. And I was feeling for a long time like just so bogged down by all of these things, like unloading my dishwasher and cleaning my house and running errands and going to the grocery store and feeling really overwhelmed with everything else that I'm doing and pursuing. Running my own business, being a creative, passionate person and putting out stuff like this, putting out podcast episodes and doing just things with friends. And you know how it is, just like life, right? We are pouring ourselves into so many different people and so many different things. And really, like, it's making me emotional as I talk about this because I didn't realize like how caught up I got in all of the pressure to do all of this stuff, to do more. I'm asking for more energy. I'm asking for more. And like I'm sitting here and I'm legit tearing up right now because I feel so connected to this message and like how am I just now seeing this and having this reflection come through? Like I am always telling myself and I'm always sharing with other people like the best thing that we can do is to be honest with ourselves. Be honest with who we are, be honest with what we want in this life. Just continuously create this space for ourselves in our life to be honest with ourselves. And, because we're not just in this world by ourselves, we're in this world with other people that have different dreams and have different desires and have different goals and ambitions. A lot of times our desires just get lost and it's almost like they fade away and they get misconstrued and things happen along the way. So what can happen a lot of times is we're walking along this path and we're reaching towards goals and desires that actually aren't ours. And it's really hard at times. And I think those are the moments in our life where we feel so confused and just like so lost. And I don't know, I think I'm like waking up to this realization that that's happened to me a lot. Not to say that my desires haven't been my own, but like when I take the time to really just sit with myself, like really, really sit with myself. And when I say that, I don't mean like I'm going to meditate, I'm going to journal. It's like I don't come in with a plan. Just something happens and then I take a moment to sit, literally sit. Nothing's playing in the background. I'm not doing anything. And that was me on Saturday night after I watched this movie. As I'm crying, I just felt like I just need to sit here and I need to just be with myself and I need to just sit and be and not have this agenda of anything I have to do or anything I have to create or create a plan or this or that. So I sat on my couch for about 45 minutes and I closed my eyes and I just like truly connected and envisioned what I really, really want for myself. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like holding myself in my blanket as I'm crying. And this may sound like, Rebecca, what the fuck? But to me, it felt like the most beautiful sense of connection. And it was so pure and it was so honest. And why it's making me so emotional yet again is because like it feels so truthful. And yeah, it feels so good to come into contact with this clarity of like, oh, this is what I really want. And what I realized throughout this holding myself in this space was that, like, man, I actually don't want to do as much as I'm doing. Like, I actually want my life to be so much simpler. And I have been seeking out and asking for more, like more growth and more opportunities and more this and more clients and more. And I sat there and I was like, I actually don't want more. Like, I actually want less. And that's kind of really scary to admit to myself. Like, and I've always known that. Like, I knew that from the get-go when I launched my business. Like, I have always done really, really well when I have conversations with people where we can just get really deep and I'm sitting with them at coffee and 2.5, 3 hours flies by and I feel like I'm so present and I'm so grounded. And I look up and I'm like, oh, it's been 3 hours. But then the rest of the day, I don't have anything to do. And I think just along the way with navigating entrepreneurship as I'm coming up on 2 years, like, you guys, I have literally, I can't even put this into words. I have just been throwing shit at the wall for 2 years. And I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't have a business plan. I still don't have a marketing plan. I still don't have a strategy. But now, because of all of the work that I have done and all of the seasons where it's flowing and things are great and I'm making money and blah, blah, blah. And then I have seasons where, what am I doing? Where am I going? I don't know who I am. What's happening here? Like, it's been 2 years. I'm only talking about the business aspect here. It's been many more years, not just 2 years. But throughout this journey of showcasing more of my gifts and talents with the world and, you know, creating more and being more authentic in my expression and showing up in so many different ways. All of this has been encapsulated in really 2 years. And along the way, I have come across so many incredible people that have helped me, truly have helped me beyond words. They have helped me in areas where I am so weak, and in tandem with having this new reflection of like, wow, I don't want to be doing more. I want to be doing things that are even more intentional. And whatever I'm doing, I want to feel so good with what I'm giving to people, with what I'm creating for them. Whether that's, you know, an 1.5, 2 hour long conversation with someone, or putting out a course, or creating a really expansive workshop or event for someone. And what has been shown to me time and time again throughout the past few years is like, I can get so caught up in, okay, this is what I'm good at and this is what I'm here to do, but how the fuck else am I going to make everything work? And I have shared with quite a few people, whether that's my parents, friends, family, like, things become very different when you move from, I love to do this is my passion and this is a hobby, to now I'm creating something out of this and I want to monetize it and it's a business, right? It's a whole different ballgame, and it's not easy by any means. And why it's not easy is because we're not all meant to be good at the same things. And over the past few years, I have really, really learned where I shine, what I love to do, what I'm good at, and what I want to be giving to the world. So if you're sitting here and you're like, what am I doing? Where is my purpose? Where am I finding fulfillment in my life right now? Ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I good at? Like, what do I love to do? Or what do I really, really enjoy? And what do I feel called to share with the world. Not like, oh, I feel all this pressure to give this to the world. It's like, what do I feel called to give? I always ask myself those 3 questions. And when I stop from time to time and I really zone in on like, where is my zone of genius here? Where are my gifts? Where do I shine? Like I've always known that I want to be the star, and I want to be the person that is so present, and I'm giving someone an experience that they've never had before because of my wisdom or guidance or energy or just perspective. Like not even like, oh my gosh, I'm changing this person's life, like just because of who I am as a person. And what has tripped me up throughout the past few years is I don't have a lot of the skills that I have believed, or that I do believe that you need in order to have a successful business. Like at some point you do need strategy, and you need really good marketing, and you need to have clients, and like you need to have exposure and have people know about you. And for so long I've been like, again, feeling so much pressure towards delivering in areas that I don't know how to deliver. And I sat with myself the other day and I was like, again, I don't know what just came through me. It's like I have been getting the most incredible clarity over the past month and a half. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? This is amazing. Thank you so much. And I've realized that I'm done pretending. I'm done trying to even get good at the things that I think I need to get good at. And like all that I want to be doing is focusing on where I shine. And I want to be focusing on what I'm good at and what I'm here to give. And when I do that, miraculously, people come into my life out of the woodworks, like truly miraculously. The universe connects me with people that help me where I'm weak. And I have shared about this before, but like now it really feels like very, very, very truthful. And I'm sharing all of this again because it is my own experience, but I know that a lot of you listening to this episode and these podcast episodes, you know, see your potential and you have drive and you have grit and you have this passion, but so many of us stop ourselves from putting ourselves out there, from actualizing this potential, from really going for what we want to go for, because we're so stuck in I'm not going to be able to figure it out, and this has to be perfect, and I have to know how to do everything. I have been in your position so many times, and even though I'm still putting myself out there, I have stopped myself from calling in better opportunities, more aligned opportunities, more money, more success, like all of the things, simply because I decided to spread my focus and spread my energy in areas that it doesn't need to go. Like that's where I'm getting at here. What I am focused on right now is like not even like, oh, I'm going to focus on this. Like I'm focused on where my focus, my energy, and my attention needs to go. Because now I know, because I've lived these patterns time and time again over the past few years, because it keeps on happening, when I focus on where I need to be focused, the universe will give me the people to help me. And I want to remind you of that because I have lived it, and I would not be where I am without the people that have helped me along the way, like truly, okay? Of course, like none of this would be happening if I didn't have the faith and belief in myself. But at the same time, I know that I've grown so much over the past few years because of the support and because of the help that I have gotten. And I now firmly believe that if I continue to just focus on where I know I'm supposed to be, everything else is and will be taken care of. And that feels really freeing. And it also helps me connect to these desires of mine that have been overshadowed because I felt for the longest time I was so consumed with the how. And like, I'm just not good at this, but I don't want to be good at it, but like, I have to be able to figure this out. And then I'm sitting here and I'm like, I got to post here, I got to do this, I got to create this. And then it becomes this overwhelm. And then I feel pressure and I feel just like I'm burdened by all of these things. And then all of the mundane things that I actually love to do. Not like I love to unload my dishwasher, but I really love to clean my house because I love living in a clean home. I love being in a home that feels like me, that is bright and it's clean and things don't feel chaotic or messy. I love going to the damn grocery store. And like for months I was just like Instacarting everything, and then I've had these thoughts trickle up of like, I just want to like go to the grocery store and wander around Whole Foods and just spend the day like doing these simple things that I truly love to do. And I felt for the longest time like, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Like I could be spending this time and energy elsewhere, working on my business, learning this. And now I'm like, but I love to do these things and I actually want to do these things. And I can't wait for the day where, hopefully sooner than later, where I'm sitting on my couch and it's a Friday night and I'm clean from my everything shower and my sweet boyfriend is sitting right next to me and we're drinking tea and we're cuddled up and we're watching a movie, and like I don't feel this pressure to work on this project for work or, you know, put out something that's gonna help me gain a new client. Like I'm just living this truthful, lovely, simple life. And it feels like that's what it feels like. Like there's so much more space in my body now because I've just accepted that I don't want to be this girl who takes a million calls every day. And knowing how my energy works and knowing that, you know, I am lit up by so many different things is really cool. But for so long, I was really trying to do it all. Like I can do this one day and plan everything out and I can take these calls and do this. And now it's like, well, I think what I really, really want and what I've always wanted is, let's say it's a Wednesday afternoon and my whole afternoon is clear because I had one call in the morning with a client. I worked out, my house is clean. Now I think I'm going to meet a friend for lunch and we're going to go shopping. Like that is what I truly desire. I don't want to have days that are stacked with meetings and stacked with calls and I'm so busy I don't have any time to check in with my people or just wander around the grocery store or take myself on a shopping date just because, or go to just like a leisurely coffee in the afternoon. And again, I've always known this about myself, but I've convinced myself along the way that it just can't be like this. Yet I'm always shown through different people, whether that's watching my favorite YouTubers or watching people on Instagram. I'm like, of course, they all have worked hard at what they're doing, but clearly there's this belief there that this lifestyle that they have is attainable, basically. And I really believe that whatever you think is attainable is what you will be experiencing. And so I've seen like the drastic, I don't even know if you could call it like a spectrum, but I'm watching people that are living a lifestyle that I really, really connect to. And then I'm watching people at the same time, which is not a bad thing, but I'm seeing a lot of people come across my timeline lately. And I'm seeing this lifestyle that I thought I wanted, but now that I'm seeing them live it out, I'm like, this looks horrible. Like, I am not the girl who wants to get in a quick little 15-minute workout because that's all that I have time for. No, I'm the girl that's spending 1.5, 2 hours in the gym. 1, because I can. 2, because I have the time. And 3, because this is my literal number one non-negotiable. And I remember telling myself for years and years and years, like, I better take advantage of this time because one day I'm just not going to have it. And of course, throughout the span of the past few years, I've put myself in situations where I needed to learn and my self-worth was reflected back to me. And I don't always have the time to spend an hour and a half in the gym. But now, as I'm moving into this space of this is my full last year in my 20s, and I'm at the end of my Saturn return, and I know that I've brought all this up again, but like it helps me to remember, it helps you to remember in your own journey as I'm about to step into another year, like really connecting with like, what do I really want my life to look like? And let me be as honest as I possibly can, and let me be very unapologetic about this. And it's so freeing, you guys, like to really connect to like just whatever you want, whatever you truly desire for yourself. So I want to ask you, are you being truthful with yourself? Are you being honest with yourself? And even if you think that you are, because I have been thinking that I've been truthful with myself this entire time, and maybe it's just where I'm at in my astrological journey, maturity, age, life experience, whatever it is, but I really feel like I have connected with the truth of what I'm seeking in this present moment. Again, my mind may shift and change, and in 3 months, 3 years, things may look very different. But like, are you really being honest and truthful with yourself about what you want out of your life and what you want your life to look like? Because I want to remind you that anything is possible. I know that not because I have lived this life. Like, let me be brutally honest here. I haven't lived this life where like I have felt like I am fully consciously creating everything in my life. Now I feel like I trust myself so much. I trust in my decision making. I trust in my intuition. I trust that what I want is true to me, and it's not because someone else has it. It's because I'm seeing people that do have it, and I'm either connecting with it or I'm not. And putting myself through this sifting mechanism of, does that feel good to me? Does it not feel good to me? I also have learned so much about myself through putting myself in experiences that have not been aligned for me. I call them like mini journeys. I've been through so many mini journeys throughout the span of my 20s, and I have learned so much about myself by doing things for 2 months, for 3 months, that I know, like that I knew from the get-go that these things weren't going to last. And every time, even recently, I went through something that showed me like the worth of who I am. And I never thought that I would put myself in this position again, but I did. And I'm so glad that I did, because I've learned about myself that in a lot of these work-specific experiences that I have, especially over the past few years, I've thought, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get X amount of clients. Oh, if I do this, I'm going to make X amount of money. It's always like something in the 3D, in the physical world that I think I'm going to get. But always what happens at the end of it is like the most profound reflection or revelation that I needed to have about myself. And I'm like, why do I keep on thinking with every new situation and every new experience that I have that like it's about the physical outcome? Because it never is. Like, even throughout this year, when I really, really dialed in on my fitness journey and falling back in love with the gym and like truly morphing my body into this body that I look at in the mirror every day now, and I see this body that feels like Rebecca's. Like, it actually feels like this is the body that I am meant to have on this earth. I'm not like wanting to change anything. Of course, I'm always like looking to improve, but I now look at myself and like it just feels like my body. Even throughout that whole journey, even though I saw such incredible physical changes in myself, it was never about that. It was about like, whoa, for the first time, I was so disciplined and so committed to this thing. And because of that, I received these incredible results. So it's funny how that works, because so much of life and what we navigate through, we're always thinking, what can I gain here? Is it the house? Is it the partner? Is it the job title? Is it the money? Is it this? Something physical, something external. And at least it's this way for me. The most profound gift that I have received in any situation that I've gone through in life is always the message. It's always the lesson. It's always the wisdom. It always comes back to, how did this change me internally? And that's what drives me. Like, for the longest time, I thought year after year, I'm doing so much work on myself, so much spiritual work, so much emotional work. Like, I'm so proud of myself internally for all of these emotional, massive shifts that I've experienced. But if you look at my life on the outside, a lot of the things, at least I have felt like, haven't changed. Like my living situation, or my, relationship status, or like how much money I'm making. But it's like the second that I detached from, it was never about the thing. It was always about what was happening internally. Like, now I truly feel like, because I've had that newfound sense of like, this is what it's all about, then that stuff comes in. And I don't know, we'll see, because that message just came through. So I'm excited to see what is now going to be happening on the other side of that. But it feels like I've shifted 10 timelines, and I now am so much, I don't even know if the right word is like more connected to myself, but like I feel so connected to believing in my truth and believing in myself and trusting in myself, and like really, 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 really trusting in my own sense of like, this is what's right for me. This is what's wrong for me. I don't have to explain that to you. I don't have to make you understand, but this is what feels really aligned for me. And that feels really good. And I want the same for you. And I truly believe that we can't ever force the clarity. We can't ever, as badly as we want it at times. I've had clients come to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm so stuck. And I'm just like waiting for this sign from God, and I'm waiting for the clarity. And I do believe that there are seasons where it flows. It flows. It feels like I know exactly what I'm doing. And then there are seasons where it just feels really hard to receive that clarity. And you can't force it, and you can't control, because you can't control anything in life. You can only control how you react and what your perspective is going to be about life and about what you're moving through and what you're navigating through. But what has helped me gain some sense of control and gain some sense of like, okay, I've got my hand on the steering wheel, and like the car may be driving itself right now, but like I've got some sense of a grip on the situation, is really just letting go and knowing that when the clarity comes, it's going to fucking come. It's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to come when you're on a date. It's going to come when you're at the movies. It's going to come when you're in the shower. It's going to come when you're going to the bathroom. It's going to come at the most random moment when you didn't ask for it. Especially if you're a spiritual person and you're doing all your rituals and all the quote unquote things that you need to do in order to get the clarity. We're journaling every day. We're meditating every day. We're working out every day. We're doing the sauna. We're doing the cold plunge. We're doing ayahuasca. We're doing all of these things. All of those things can elicit, the clarity to come through. But the minute that I just let myself soften into the space, that's when it comes through. And that's when I feel the most connected to myself and to what I desire and what I'm doing, because I'm not, manipulating the situation and trying to control it and just make sense out of it. So I want to remind you of that as we are just a few weeks away from moving into the new year. again, I think this is the time to really lead with intention and focus on the practices and the habits and the things that you can do to help support you. Whether that's, I got to go on a walk every day, or I have to keep my house clean, or I have to call my mom every other day. Like, everyone's going to have different habits and practices, but letting those things ground you as you navigate this terrain of highs and lows and waves. And I know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going, because the reality of life is it's not this straight line. And we're like moving from level 1 to level 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Like, life is so nonlinear. And of course, we can have moments where it feels like everything is going great and it's smooth and I'm moving up the levels here. And then there are phases in our life, or maybe years, or multiple years, where you feel like, I was asleep and what the fuck was I doing? It's all a part of a bigger plan. So let's take the step back. Let's really try our hardest to not control and manipulate everything in life, because we're already trying to control everything. There are things that you can control. Like, I love my workouts because I can control them. I love what I eat because I can control that. I've been in stages and phases of my life where I become a freak about things, and that's when things go downhill. But it's like, we can create a sense of control in some areas of our life. Of course, we can control when we're going to sleep and when we're waking up. But then there's other times where it's like, I just got to sleep more. And I really wanted to control the situation, but for some reason, I need more. So working on softening in this season, because it is a slower season, and it's so beautiful to have these slower seasons where, if we are actually present, like, the joy and the beauty that comes from the simplest of things. Like, I get so giddy when I'm just like, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm drinking my coffee and I'm journaling, or I'm watching a movie. Like, it fills me up with so much joy when I go on these walks and I get to look at houses with the most incredible, like, Christmas lights and decorations. I'm like, it feels so good. Of course, it also feels good to buy a new pair of boots, for sure, but that's just like instant gratification that goes away tomorrow. Like, really leaning into the innocence and just the simple joys of life, and opening up that space to connect to what is it that I truly desire, and being unapologetic about that, even if that feels very unfamiliar to you, even if it's something that you have buried, underneath a lot of other desires for a very, very long time. Like, for example, for the longest time, I've thought that I want to be this, like, boss bitch woman and make so much money and be super busy, like, intentionally busy, but have a lot of things going on. And lately I've been really, really connecting to a lot of YouTubers that I follow, and content creators, and like life coaches, just like people that I gravitate towards that are doing things that I enjoy. And what I'm seeing, of course, I don't know the ins and outs of their life, but what I'm seeing is they have a lot of time and they have a lot of space. And what they are producing and what they are creating is very, like, high caliber, very quality, and very intentional. And, like, that is what I'm desiring in my life right now. Like, less clients, less opportunities, less of everything. But everything that I am doing is super high quality, is super intentional. I feel really, really great about what I'm doing. And it's not, quantity over quality. It's like major, major, major quality stuff, and less of like, I'm just like pumping out all this stuff and I'm generating all this content and I'm making all these videos and reels and I'm doing all these different jobs. And it's like, no, I actually don't want to do that. I don't want to live a life like that. I want to make cookies on a Wednesday night. If I want to make a soup from scratch on a Tuesday and start at 5, hell, if I want to start at 3, I want to be able to do that. And for the longest time, I felt really guilty about that. And I also felt very disconnected. Like, okay, like these YouTubers are doing that because they're making fucking probably $50,000 a month from like 3 brand deals, you know? Like that was my thought process for a really long time. Like, oh, they can do that, but I can't. And now I'm like, what if I just really connected to and really owned this idea of this life that I want to live? What if I just released this pressure of like, oh, it's got to be this one way, or, oh, I'll have that in 5 years once I've done X, Y, and Z. It's like, I want it now. I want it now. I want to connect to it now. You know, and I think we can easily, I don't know, that can come from a very like privileged place in a sense, because it's not like I'm saying I don't want to put in the work, but I want the work that I do put out to be very intentional. And usually when you're putting out really, really quality stuff that is very intentional, you're doing less of it. Now, a lot of people may not agree with that statement. They may think, well, like, you know, you just like create more and you generate more and you work harder, and like that's fine if you want to have that belief, but I've never had that belief and I don't want to have that belief. I want to believe that it's actually possible to do less and experience more, to do less and to have more, to have a richer life, to have a more fulfilling life. Like, you know, I envision myself with my next boyfriend and like making cookies on a Thursday night and like going to walk the dog and having like a few clients that week and having like, you know, a few really amazing opportunities come up for me that month. And I used to feel so like, oh, I gotta have more trips, more opportunities, more experiences, more clients, more this, more that. It's just like, I actually don't want that. And that feels really good. And it feels really peaceful to admit that. So yeah, hopefully this episode has inspired you to come back to this place of opening up the space to be very honest with yourself. And again, not forcing anything, but just like opening up this space to like, what is it actually that I really feel connected to? And what is it actually that I want? And allowing myself, even if you don't fully believe in it right now, this is very important. Even if you don't fully believe that this life is attainable for you, at least you're entertaining the idea. At least like you've got this seed, right? Like it hasn't fully sprouted yet. And maybe we've got a long way to go, but like you've planted the seed and like you've let yourself just entertain the idea and this vision of this life that you've never allowed yourself to even think about or dream about. You know, like that's the fun in all of this. It's like nothing is, you know, absolute. It's like just entertaining this idea of what things can be. Like that is truly where the magic begins. And that's when things start to change in your life, because the more that you just allow yourself to go there and to go into that energy and go into that space, the easier that it is to connect to that. So yeah, it's so fun having this podcast because it feels like just a diary for me, and it really feels like therapy. And I always walk away feeling so much clearer and so much brighter. And I hope that you feel the same when you listen to these podcast episodes. So thank you for being a listener here. As always, I would love for you to rate this podcast, to share about it, to send it to someone in your community or in your network that you feel could really use this message in life right now. And I love you so much and I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.